I am Shin the Hero.
I'm OldHunterRage.
And we are the DragonBroZ. As you read the title, I know we're smaller. And I wanna start off and preface this. We're not doing this. We're not talking about this or anything like that for clout. We're not trying to get noticed by anybody or anything. We are just two, as the DragonBroZ, we're just two regular schmoes just like you who like to talk about our fandom. And what we're about, the subject matter we're about to talk about right now is just something that should have been talked about. Like this dude, MBA. I honestly, YouTube, I didn't know he existed until a couple of days ago. And YouTube recommended it to me. It was mainly because he was bad mouthing Geekdom, which is, I 1010% commend this man for doing that too, because the things he was saying in that stream and everything is 100% true, and the shit I knew since day one, since Geekdom came out. But MBA, Mad Black Atheist, that's his name. He is mad. He is black. I guess he's atheist. He's an atheist, yeah. But like his whole core, though, for the most part, from what I understand, and everything that he's going for is to destroy the anime community, but particularly he's targeting the Dragonball Super fans, not Z, not regular Dragon Ball, not even GT, and GT is trash.
It is an easy target, you're right.
But he's going off the Super, and like his main thing is just being honest and with the whole criticism and everything. But you got people like Geekdom who fucked it up for everybody. Apparently, I also didn't know about this guy either. I don't. Apparently this dude, there was a YouTuber named Perfection, I'm assuming, or a guy named Perfection, and he, I guess, was mouthing Geekdom and whatnot, calling him fake, which he is, and his content is boring, which, no lie, his content, when he goes into the history of Dragon Ball stuff, that's actually interesting. Everything else that's not scripted, Geekdom is boring. No lie. And I like I said, I can't speak for OldHunterRage, but
I would agree.
I would say everything else he does is boring. And if he puts out another Super Saiyan guide, oh my god, you don't need any Super Saiyan guides or anything, or at least just say the history of it or something like that, like these history channels and whatnot. But like, he got like 5 Super Saiyan Blue guides. Why you need that many? But besides all that, Geekdom went to MBA. And I guess his group called the League. Like, I don't know if it was a play on the League of Assassins or League of Shadows or whatnot, but he called them the League. And they basically Geekdom put a mob hit on this dude, Perfection. And Mr. MBA, he went after this Perfection guy, and he did his job to the point where I don't know who he is. I don't know who the hell he is. I don't know if you know who he is.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell he is. And apparently Geekdom got cool with him and everything. And then after the work was done and everything, Geekdom turned his back on this man. And I promise you, this dude is the wrong dude you want to wrong. You just want to be like, F this nigga. That's the wrong dude. Because, like, this dude gives 0 fucks. 0.
Yeah.
He gives 0 fucks. He is here to his main thing is the clown super, which mainly he's telling the truth. We'll go back. Like, look, my honest opinion, like GT, I wouldn't particularly say GT. I might joke here and there. GT is trash. GT is disappointing, but there's a lot of concepts in GT that I can get behind and I like, and they could have expanded on. Took the stuff kind of like how Disney did the Star Wars theme. Took the stuff from the Legends and kind of reworked it, which Super should have did. And I like, shout out about. I mean, I like Dragon Ball, like the next person. I also can take criticism, constructive criticism. So,
Right.
but Super when it started was trash. It is trash. I call it how I see it. However, after they got past doing both movies, because I didn't really start watching Super until the Goku Black arc. That's when I started to watch it, because it piqued my interest.
Yeah, me too.
The things in the tournament, and I saw clips of the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 little tournament arc thing, which that right there, they could have done a little bit more on that. Like, I'm a PyCon fan. They could have put PyCon. They could have put him in canon, kind of how like they did Brawly. They could have put PyCon in canon. Could have said PyCon was from a different universe. He could have been the third, besides Hit and Kaba, because the rest of them, the other three, they didn't matter. He could have been the third dude. He could have been, instead of giving us another Frieza clone, we could have got PyCon. We kind of got a history for PyCon and whatnot. But we get this Frieza clone, and they even the whole thing was like, oh, this dude is actually a good guy, which was immediately taken away. Like, he's just another bad guy. He's just another shit dude. I'm like, they could have kept that going. Like, we could have actually seen a good guy Frieza race, or they could have finally named the Frieza race and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, but the Goku Black arc was, the beginning of it was great, in my opinion. The mystery and everything, it was great. It was dope. Once you found out in about the middle of the Goku Black arc, I would say about the second time they went back to the future, which was stupid. That's when it started to decline, and that's when I was like, man, I don't understand. Why'd y'all do this? This arc started great, and then it just tumbled. It nosedived. What do you want to say?
I would agree. Because like I felt the same way. I too am a massive Dragon Ball fan. For the most part, I don't really like Super all that much, with the exception of the Goku Black arc, because, like you were saying, you know, the first half of it is like, there's a lot of mystery in it, which you don't get a lot of mystery in Dragon Ball as a whole, because it's like, I think the last mystery thing before the Goku Black arc I could think of was like the Android saga, because it was that had like a lot of intrigue behind it, and like because of the time travel and everything, you didn't know how things were going to change and all that kind of stuff, and it was cool. But then, you know, it obviously goes in the Dragon Ball direction, which, you know, is like, you don't want it to go that way, but it inevitably always does go that way. And I just remember watching the Goku Black arc, and I was like, oh, I wonder who this guy is. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, because I've put it out there a lot of times. I'll raise my hand. I thought Goku Black was Goten for a while. I was one of those theorists who were like, it would have been so cool if Goku Black turned out to be like grown-up Goten. But then that was like, there's a whole timeline confusion with me in that part. But that would have been emotional. But they don't really do that kind of thing. Like if it was in a different show, I think they would have gone that route. But it being Dragon Ball, they have to, I wouldn't say they have to like baby the show, but it never gets really that complicated. It's always got to be kind of a simple thing because it always comes back down to a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the only real intrigue in the show is what is somebody going to transform into now, and that's I hate that the show's gone that way, but like you were saying, I didn't watch the first 2 arcs because I saw both movies. So it's like there's not really any need. Yeah.
I did watch because I like because people call the beginning parts the slice of life parts of Super filler. I don't think it is because my own opinion about filler, like the whole anime. One, the anime came out before the manga, so you get this filler shit out the way. 2, like the slice of life parts, those are fun. Those are great. It draws back to original Dragon Ball. How originally it was supposed to be a comedy. It was supposed to be like a gag manga with adventure on the side. It was gonna be. I'm sorry. Continue.
It gave us like a look at because you remember at the beginning it was like Goku was trying to work a job,
right?
And I was like,
I like that. I
want to see more of this because, and this will bring me into like my biggest criticism of Super, because I looked like Goku was getting ready to grow up, and of course he obviously like it's one of the funniest parts where he puts Goten on the tractor and then Goten almost drives the tractor off a cliff, and it's like, Goku, you can't do that. That's irresponsible. But then they make up for it where, like, what is it? Hercule shows up and he's like, hey, here's so much money. You'll never have to work a day in your life. And I was like, okay, cool. There goes any character development we could have gotten of Goku trying to be a normal person in this. But then, like I was saying, that brings me into my biggest criticism, and I used to be a diehard Goku fan. Super, there's so many people that were talking about Goku's character in Super, and they were like, no, this is the way he's always been. And yeah, I get it, because he's always been kind of not brain dead, and he's not particularly stupid. He's just childish and a selfish person. But when you've grown up with the Z version of Goku, who was made out to be a superhero, that version lives in your head for a long time, especially as young as I was, and I saw him and I was like, oh my god, he's one of the coolest superheroes I've ever seen. And then you see him in Super and I was like, this is not the Goku I remember, when in actual fact it's a straight line of how he is. But if you look at it the way I did, it was like he was at a peak, but then once Super started, he dipped down so hard, and it was like
they regressed his character.
They regressed him so hard.
They did the same thing with Vegeta. It's the same thing with Vegeta. Like Vegeta is learning the same lessons he's learned in Z, and they reset the 2 most popular characters to make them relearn everything they learned previously. So it was not the greatest writing. And then we get the Tournament of Power, which, as a fan, I like the Tournament of Power because the Tournament of Power at its core is just a love letter to Dragon Ball. That's it. It brings up the highlights of Dragon Ball from Dragon Ball and Z. It brings up highlights, reimagines them. We get a few new characters and whatnot. We fight kaijus up in this piece and everything.
Yeah.
And we get Jiren, and I know a lot of people don't like Jiren. I like Jiren, not gonna lie. But
I'm not gonna say anything.
but I mean, I like Batman, but like at the end of the day, the tournament power, I felt like the tournament power was okay as a arc for Super. Did it save Super? No. I feel like Brawly, the movie, is what saved Super.
I would agree,
And
because there's a moment I was thinking about in Super as a whole, aside from the first two movies, because I'm not from the first two arcs because they're the movies. The show Super didn't even have that many like actual villains, because you could look at the opposing universes in the Tournament of Power as quote unquote villains, but really they're just antagonists for our characters to fight against.
yeah,
That's all it really is. The only villain I can really think of is Goku Black and Zamasu, obviously. But then there was that arc where like there was a copy version of Vegeta.
yo, I like that.
Slime
yeah,
thing.
man, I like that. And then the dub, they got Brian Drum back.
Yeah,
I like
it was
that.
cool. It was like those were the only two villains. Everybody else was just like, these are some guys from other universes that we want to try and fight. And I mean, obviously that's being changed with the manga, and the manga is going in. I think.
Okay, so about the manga, we'll get on the manga because after Brawly, the manga is continuing and everything.
Right.
We get Moro. Moro legitimately started out as a great villain and as a great a saga, like that arc that started out great. The Goat Man with the magic powers, even though he just was a higher tier Dr. Gero, absorbing energy and whatnot.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like the design. He looked different. His powers were different, and even though I just felt I when he was introduced, and my personal self, I was like, well, all we need to do is just get the androids and bop this man. I mean, this dude's not a problem at all. I don't know why y'all tripping. He can't even fight. I don't even know why y'all tripping. But okay. The way they did it was compelling until Goku and Vegeta got bopped on Namek, and Namek got destroyed yet again.
Again.
When after that, that's when that arc started to nosedive for me. It was turning from something great, like something as Super, but it was going back to original Dragon Ball, especially the moment when Batman Moro turned into Cell Jr.
Yeah, pretty much.
The moment that happened, I just was like, well, there goes nothing. Even though I would say when Goku made Gundam Goku, that was cool.
It was cool. In theory, it is pretty cool. And like when you see it happen, it's like, oh, that's pretty damn cool. I don't get it, but it's cool.
But towards the end, because that's another fight Vegeta should have won. You give Vegeta all this development and everything. Let him go to the place where Goku went. Let him learn something even better that Goku couldn't learn. He knows about, so he easily can learn it. But you give him this brand new power. He comes in, does the Vegeta thing, and then he loses. Like, Vegeta should have gotten the win. He should have got the win. Now, after the Moro arc, we go into the Granola arc now. And Granola, I let the wishing, being able to wish to be the strongest pass, because it's the Dragon Balls, whether or not There's 2 or 40, and whether or not how convenient it was, that's in writing. That's in all kind of forms of fantasy writing and whatnot. But the fact right now, it just seems like Granola, because Granola's design is cool, but like, and his personality was cool up until he met Goku and Vegeta, and it seems like Granola is slowly regressing into generic Dragon Ball villain.
Right.
And right now this man Vegeta has another new power, but for all we know, they might do the same thing they did to him in the Moro arc, and even though he might tank some stuff from Granola still at the end of the day is the strongest in the universe, which makes no damn, which a little foreshadowing thing they has said. It's like, yeah, you're the strongest today, like all that, like that. They should have put that in the account and something like that. That's what it's. They're doing the obvious things. That's what I'm saying in Super, even with the manga. And like I said, I thought Broly saved Super, and then we moved into the Moro arc, and I was on a high, and then Moro became Cell Jr., and I was like, yeah, Cell did it better. So, and it went down, and then Granola came out. I was like, yeah, he looked like a Dragon Quest character, but alright, man, I'll see what this is. And it kind of started to plateau for me, and now it's went back down, man.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like you were saying, the Broly arc, or, well, I can't even really call it an arc. The Broly movie was different because it's weird because it wasn't different. It went in the normal Dragon Ball direction, but it's like the way that they did it worked much better than it usually does. Because it was like, yeah, there was this character that Goku and Vegeta had to fight, and you were going to get a pretty badass fight, and you think that would be the end of it. But, like, since they rewrote Broly's character and all that kind of stuff, spoiler alert for those listening, I'm a massive Broly fan. So, I love this dude to death.
He is.
I love Broly so much. But just, like, how they changed his story and his relationship to his father, and just, like, I feel like they gave the character a lot of depth. So it was like you weren't really watching this fight. Well, at the beginning, I will say this. At the beginning, I was ready to watch them just, fight each other. But as the fight started to go on, you start realizing that Broly's mental state is deteriorating rapidly because he's just crazy. The power that's in him, he can't control it, and the more he fights, the more he's going to adapt, obviously. But he's going to lose his mind in the process. And watching that, I was like, I don't want to watch him fight anymore. This is sad.
Yeah, and you start rooting for him, too. You start rooting for Broly.
Absolutely. Because, like, by the end, when, it's cool and all. It's one of my favorite fights. Gogeta shows up, and I love Gogeta to death. But by the end, I was like, I'm terrified. It feels like Broly's getting ready to die by the end of this fight. And I was so glad he didn't. And it was one of the first times where in a Dragon Ball movie, I was rooting for the quote-unquote antagonist to live through this and be okay by the end of it. Because, like, that poor... he's doing pretty well in the fight, and his transformation into a Super Saiyan is one of the most... It's one of the coolest moments, but also one of the most heartbreaking moments in the movie at the same time. But watching him...
It was also funny as hell, too. I'm not going to lie.
It is kind of funny.
That man said,
no! Frieza got an Academy Award during this movie. He's like, Broly, a strange blast hit your father. I was like, you did that. But you see how Broly is like, adapting and fighting and everything. But then once Gogeta shows up and he's like, all right, I think I've had enough. It's time to wrap this up. And he just starts bullying this poor kid. I was like, oh, This is not that fun to watch anymore. I hope Broly lives through this.
This was one of those times where like the fight got one-sided for real. When Gogeta showed up, he didn't even have to become a Super Saiyan, in my opinion. He didn't have to, and he just proceeded to style on this man Broly. I don't even think Broly hit him, like did damage to him, like for real.
I know he landed a couple hits, but I doubt they did any damage. I mean the moment so powerful, the moment into another dimension.
Yeah, the moment he turned blue, the fight was super one-sided. The moment he went into blue, which and at the end of the day, like I said, Super. Super is trash. It's very disappointing. It is very disappointing. There's a lot they could do. But I don't think they would do it because I honestly think one of the reasons why Super is as trash as it is because it's stuck in that 10-year little gap after Boo was defeated and before the world tournament, before Oob is. And I think if they go past Z and just call it something different instead of Super, that might actually be great. But you gotta think about it. Being a fan of a series for so long, and after 20 years, you finally get something new, some new life in your fandom, you would be hyped about it. And then as that whole run of your new thing that came out, like, I'm not gonna lie, when GT came out, I was hyped for GT. I was like, there's stuff after Dragon Ball Z? Oh, let's go. At this, I mean, they both trash, but I have more respect for GT than Super.
Oh, I'm glad we got that on a recording. Oh shit.
There's more concepts and stuff in GT than Super. The concepts and stuff they established in Super, it's that they start out great, but they nosedive like the Moro, like Goku Black, because all he did was Captain Ginyu somebody, he Captain Ginyu Goku, they're doing what the old movies were doing, except for World's Strongest, because that's the best. They were just copying the series, and there's not too much original stuff in Super. Granted, there's a lot of lore being built, and Super Ultra Instinct is a whole nother. I feel like they wrote themselves in the corner with Ultra Instinct. That's why. But because if you remember in the Moro arc and what's his name? Not Moro, but the other angel, what's his name?
Oh, Mirrors.
Mirrors. When Mirrors was finna disintegrate from existence, he told Goku, if you can master that, once you master this, nobody will be able to stop you. And then that basically came true, but they added a caveat where he has a stamina problem now. So now it's that, because once you become mastered or perfected Ultra Instinct, shouldn't that you should be the best, you should be the strongest and whatnot. But because now they gave him this stamina issue, which was never a problem in the beginning, but now that they give him that, I feel like that's the way they're trying to write themselves out the corner. Because with that, Goku should have been able to, which he did. He bodied Granola. Yeah, sure, Granola was using half his power, but he was straight styling on that man. Even with Granola at full power, and Goku opened up with Silver Hair formed, I don't think Granola would have been able to take him. What had to happen? He had to take this man off guard. That's what happens with Goku a lot. Yeah. This man is off guard, and his chest is glass. But that's my personal 2 cents on Super and whatnot. And like I said, I I like the criticism that MBA gives. Now, with the whole Geekdom thing is, like I said, he went to Geekdom went to him. They got rid of this dude, and then I guess they were quote unquote cool, and then Geekdom turned his back on that man, and now cause like I said, like I said at the start of this for Mr. MBA, I commend everything he's doing. For us, the DragonBroZ, we're not one of those. We're not trying to be one of those explain it things. What we are trying to do is we are two regular schmoes trying to get our voices heard. We're like a fandom, and we like to talk about it. And our whole purpose is to have a conversation, have a discussion about whatever Dragon Ball or whatever anime, because we will be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen not too long from here, because the manga is getting real good. But like Geekdom, when Geekdom turned his back, and like I said, we're not doing this, we're not talking about this thing, I'm not trying to slander Geekdom, because like I said, everything that MBA had said is the truth. It's 100% truth, and he was spitting hot fire truth about Geekdom. And Geekdom is a two-faced, egotistical dude. Like, even in the beginning, I feel like he kind of mellowed out now, but like with this being added, with this man coming out saying this, you would think, if I was Geekdom, I'll just own up to everything that he has said, and then I would not play the victim, but I'd spin it. Because if you're a business dude, I'd spin it, because what this man Geekdom is, he's trying to milk his fans. I'm not a Geekdom fan, I'll tell you straight up. I'm not gonna, hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like him. I'll tell you straight up. And that nigga ugly. But I'll tell you straight up, I personally, like, even MBA, I personally, I feel the same way he does, but I personally do not give a fuck about this. I really don't have nothing to lose. When we did this channel, when me and OldHunterRage started to do this channel, because we're on NWA too, we specifically did this to have a discussion, to build a community, have the community, because I want the people, you viewer who is listening or watching this video right now, I want to bring you in so we can hear your 2 cents on it, on whatever topics we're talking about. I'm trying to be a voice for the community. That's what DragonBroZ is trying to do. We're trying to be a voice for the community, and we're gonna put our 2 cents on. And if, as we say it in the NWA, if you like it, dope. If you don't like it, it is what it is, man. I believe criticism is great, but at the same time, like some of the, because I really want to talk to this dude in NBA. I really do. I hope he's listening to this. I hope he is, but we're so small. I doubt. We're probably like, just with Geekdom, we could put it in the title and everything. I doubt he'll listen to this. I doubt he'll watch this video. But like, I want to talk to this dude because, like, some of his views I just don't agree with, and I wouldn't mind having a discussion with him and shooting the shit with him and everything. Not Geekdom, I'm talking about MBA. Cause F that nigga Geekdom. I lost my train of thought. But like him, like, some of his views are skewed, but I personally think that's mainly because of Geekdom. Cause I think he's the type of, like, I think MBA is the type of dude he'd listen. You might not be able to change his mind, but he'll listen to what you're saying and whatnot. But because of Geekdom fucked it up for everybody, he fucked it up. Like, it only takes one, and then that changes your viewpoint on all on everybody, on all the community and whatnot. And because Geekdom fucked it up for it, now he's in this mindset where not only is his mission is to destroy the anime community, but now his whole thing now is just to he's done with Geekdom. Like his last live stream not too long ago, he was done with Geekdom until Geekdom fucks it up again and says something, and then because this man MBA, he has I don't know, like honestly, I think this man is like a ninja or something, man. He got a file and stuff of shit that's like labeled Geekdom, and he got all kind of stuff, and he showed it in his screen. He like showed it a little bit in his stream the other day, and like he got a bunch of shit on this man Geekdom, and I'm just like, bro, you just need to Geekdom. You just need to shut the fuck up and keep bringing out your 6 videos of the same topic, saying the same thing over and over. Don't mention that man no more, because you do not want that heat, dog. You do not.
Absolutely.
You do not want that heat. And look, I know Geekdom is probably one of the biggest Dragon Ball YouTubers. And I said I was on some of his history things. I guess when he writes his script are pretty entertaining and informative. But anything that's not that, like these Super Saiyan guides or these 17 videos about the same thing over and over, I mean, for a guy who claims to like misinformation, he be spouting a lot of misinformation, and he be spouting a lot of lies. And that was the biggest thing about MBA, Mr. MBA. He particularly hates the liars. And if you just be honest, he's good. I feel like he's good, which that's what we trying to do here. We two honest dudes who like Dragon Ball, and I like what NBA do. Again, I hope and pray he's listening to this, and I want to talk to him. I do want to talk to him. I want to shoot shit with him and see, because like, for instance, one of the things that I disagree with, like one of his streams where he was talking about what inspires you and everything, he was talking, because he was like, well, why do people think Goku why is Goku an inspiration and whatnot, and in my head while he was talking about it and everything, he's just like, man, he's not real, because he kept going on like, Goku's not real, he is a cartoon drawing and whatnot, he's not a real person. And in my head I was like, well, that might be the case, but like the views and whatnot of that character have brought to life are real. The voice actor who gave the character life is real. Like, there's so many things that could be inspired that it doesn't have to be real. A thing that exists, or in quote unquote, like like I said, I wouldn't say it bothered me, because he wasn't particularly talking at me, because one, I'm not a Goku fan, but two, it just, I disagreed, and I was like, man, I just wish he would hear out someone else's like opinion on it. But at the same time, I feel like if you come at him like a anime fan and not with a person with fucking common sense, he's not gonna listen to you, mainly because I feel like Geekdom fucked that up for everybody. But like I said, if he's listening to this, Shin the Hero, aka Walk, is the realest dude you'd ever see. He might not be just like you, but he don't give 2 fucks either. So we could be 2 niggas who don't give a fuck, talking, yelling at each other or one another. But
I can confirm this. He really does not give a fuck about anything.
and I know he's passionate about Dragon Ball, because he's a Dragon Ball fan. He's been a Dragon Ball at least Z fan for about 30 years and whatnot. So I know he's passionate, and he wouldn't be talking about Super like he does and like saying it's trash or whatnot if he wasn't a passionate fan, like how we're doing it right now. We're a passionate fan and everything. What else? You listen to the video, you watched the stream. when he was calling out Geekdom and whatnot. What are your thoughts on MBA? And then we'll try to wrap this up because we've been talking about like for 40 minutes.
Well, I watched most of it, and for the most part, I do agree with him. One of my least favorite things, because I'm in a lot of like Dragon Ball groups, like on Facebook and here and there, and the amount of blind loyalty some of the Dragon Ball fandom has for Geekdom is like it's insane, because a lot of the rumors he puts out, or a lot of the news that he talks about, has no basis or anything like that. They literally come out of nowhere, but it's almost like he picks the topics that he knows people really want to see. Like, for instance, when the new movie is coming out, or whatever the new movie is, we were talking about we want it to be cooler. We were talking about who it could be, all that kind of shit. And then, like, not too long after we were talking about it, I saw somebody in one of these groups put up a video of his confirming that the movie was about cooler. And I was like, yeah, we haven't seen it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And the only thing I can really think of, and this is I feel like some people might remember this, some people might not, but a long time ago, there was a guy, I believe he was a preacher, of some church, I can't remember, but this dude was convinced that he knew when the world was going to end. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah,
he gave a date and a time for when the world was going to end.
Yeah.
When that day came and the world didn't end, he was like, "Oh, I got the scriptures wrong. It's actually this day."
Yeah,
and people were like,
he did
right.
It 2 more times.
He did it twice in a row, and it feels like geeked. I know, oy vey. This is gonna get us a lot, but I feel like Geekdom is the equivalent of that, because whenever he puts out something stating a quote-unquote fact about something that's going to happen in Dragon Ball, and it doesn't come true and it's something else, he was like, "Oh, it was an unreliable source." Then you shouldn't have, even if it was an unreliable source, which most of the time it's probably not, probably just something he made up and something he knows people want to hear. And that's the main thing. You're duping your audience to get them to come listen to you, and you're taking them for granted. And it's just like when something comes out and it turns out not to be true, he's like, "Oh, it's an unreliable source. This other dude said such and such," and he keeps changing what he quote unquote says and what is quote unquote fact, and people still follow along, and they just don't, it's not like, it's not where I want to be like, wake up sheeple, but it's sad, because that kind of shit really, I love this fandom, and as toxic as this fandom can be, I've met some of my best friends in this, like you, Walt, because you were drawing Dragon Ball when I was in school. I looked up to you. And now I'm drawing stuff for you, how the tables have turned.
Yeah. I ain't picked up a pencil in years, people. I ain't picked up a pencil in years.
But it's just like, Dragon Ball is very important. And even though I give it a lot of shit because I'm not very happy with the way it's been going, and that's just because I'm very passionate about it. And I want people in the fandom to be excited for it. And it should never be like something that we're ashamed of, or something that the fandom should never give the source material or whatever they're being fans of a bad name, because that will guarantee that the fandom will not grow from there. And it's sad because, like, here's an example. I think we talked about this before.
Gatekeeping.
Yes, exactly. Gatekeeping. Or like when Rick and Morty was coming out. Now, I love Rick and Morty now, right? I think it's great show. It's weird and all that shit. At first, I didn't want to watch it because I saw fans going into McDonald's and going crazy for some Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all are giving your fandom a bad name, and it's in turn making people not want to watch the show. When the show is, to some people, to some people, they think it's good. It's not for everyone, obviously. But if you keep doing shit like that, people who were once interested in watching it, you are now turning them away because of your behavior. And a lot of people think, well, that shouldn't really matter, but word of mouth and just taking things in with your eyes is probably the most important thing. A movie could be the best thing, could be the best movie ever made, but if somebody comes out and says it's trash, the people close to him are going to be like, no, I don't want to see the movie. And they're missing out because he said it was trash, you know? It's very easy. The sphere of influence that comes from people in general, but then people who are higher up in the fandom, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah.
The power they hold over the fandom is insane, and it cannot be taken for granted. I feel like he has.
Yeah.
I'm getting off my soapbox now.
I mean, I 100% agree, man. I 100% agree. I kind of equated to because Super was coming back and everything. Not Super was coming back because he did say something about that. Like he was saying, yeah, they finna announce this when Super coming back, and dog, it's 2021 and it's still not back, man. What's going on? Oh, they didn't announce it because I didn't announce it. You know they wanted to announce it. That's not how shit works, dog. All you were doing was free publicity. They could do that all day. Before Bleach came back, they was already talking about Kubo. Like, yeah, he got some heat coming up, and that man Kubo still announced, like, yep, I got heat right now. Yep. Bleach is back. Then he dropped the mic. He didn't wait for that. Marvel movies, hell, any type of movie gets leaks and all that. They don't get mad at no leak and anything. They be like, for instance, like freaking Deadpool. Deadpool footage got leaked on purpose.
That's the reason the movie happened.
And that's the reason why you got, like, just because this dude who has, I don't even know, I don't even think he has 1 million subs, but just because this dude has somewhat of an internet presence, a big ass company like Toei is not gonna be like, oh man, that man Geekdom beat us to it. Well, we're gonna change it. We're not gonna drop it now. No, they're not gonna do that shit. It's just this man Geekdom goes on and on, and I apologize for my voice. I'm going through some stuff, but it's just this man Geekdom be like, man, yeah, my sources and whatnot. And one of the MBA things was like Geekdom always talk about sources and stuff. He don't ever show no proof or anything like that. He could easily show like an email and block out the email addresses and the name and whatnot and show proof and whatnot. He easily can do all that, but he chooses not to. And he's not a news channel, man. He's not a news channel. So like I don't get why he couldn't like just bring up his sources or anything. Do I doubt that this man Geekdom don't know Dragon Ball? Nah, he might know some stuff about Dragon Ball, but at the same time, he's shown his card sometimes where he don't know what the fuck he talking about, and he'd have to go to the wiki. Even the wiki sometimes is wrong, but like he had to go to the wiki and figure something out. But is he a fan? Debatable. It's mainly because I got a bias because I don't like Geekdom. I never liked them. It ever. Like the Dragon Ball YouTubers I like is my boy Masako X. Notice me, senpai. Totally not Mark. Team 4-star in general. Expert Games. I know Ryan Style deals with the video games, but I like his personality. Even though I'm not subscribed to him.
Yeah, I like Rhyme Style for the most part. He's funny. I like him and who else is there? Well,
Saiyan Scholar. I like Saiyan Scholar.
Saiyan Scholar is good. Yeah. Dado Doya does mostly fighting game stuff. He does a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters videos, but he's one of my favorite Dragon Ball related YouTubers. Yeah, I mean, you know, they're out there, so we're here.
Yeah. You will all. I guarantee you. This is one thing I would tell you. You wonderful, beautiful listener, you or watching this video. We will always tell the truth, and we will always tell you, give you our 2 cents on something, whether y'all like it or not. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, I mean, it is what it is. There's a reason why there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down button, man. Yeah. There's a reason behind it. And again, we did not sit here and talk for an hour about Super and then about this. I wouldn't even call it a beef. I mean, because NBA, he squashed it now, but like, because he said he's done with that man. He was like, that man bored. He's bored of him now. When he said that, man, it made me remember Gohan from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, when Gohan was talking to Cell and was like, "Are you done? Cause I'm bored." And you're boring me. I was like, "Oh," he went like that. So until Geekdom does something else. Again, if Geekdom directly says something to him, I think he comes back and throws some more heat at that man Geekdom. And if Geekdom actually does listen to this and listen through this all the way through, hey man, come at me, bro. That's all I gotta say. I don't care what you and your legion of fans say and everything. Everything we just spouted on, we just gave our 2 cents on it, and you know it's true, and you should just own up to it, man. Just own up to it. That's all I'm saying. Again, we're not doing this for no clout or anything, because one, we ain't got nothing to lose. What is YouTube? I mean, that we ain't got nothing to use. I got a real job. I got a real job. My boy OldHunterRage, he got a job. So like, this is if this gets big, if our YouTube channel get big, it's still gonna be hard to put out content, because I mean, I got life. So, you know, it is what it is. But if y'all enjoy this stuff like this, we long content, us being, because we've always been real, but if us being like that, hey man, we appreciate that. That's all I say. I'm not gonna do the YouTube thing where you asking you crap, because this is not that type of video to do that. And y'all know how I feel about that in general. I don't like doing that in general. But all I would say is, y'all need to check out this dude. The YouTube channel is called Mad Black Entertainment, but he's called Mad Black Atheist. And it's Mad Black Entertainment. I mean, I will put it in the description down there. I mean, check it out. He's the realest. Now, I would say, if you can't take criticism and whatnot, and you get triggered real fast, and you might want to stay away from him. But like, he needs to get bigger. That's what I feel like. He needs to get bigger, because they're, I mean, I know we are super small, like hella small, and we trying to get up there, but like, that dude needs to get bigger, and we need more. Especially the bigger YouTube, we need more. Like, just be real, man. Just be 100%, man. That's all I say. Isaac, you want to say anything else?
No, you pretty much said all of it. So I think I'm good. I'm just in agreement at this point.
See you later.